3D printing is almost limitless as long as you design it correctly. So I'm going to show you how to design it correctly for 3D printing, along with how to design it without supports. If you can get away with no supports, I'm going to show you how to design without supports. Alright, so here in Fusion, as you can see, I'll be designing everything in Fusion, but this will go with almost any software you use to design 3D models. To start, we're going to have to think about how do we want the print to be printed. Alright, for me, layers go up, right? And my part needs to be hit like this. So I want my layers to go up. So that's how we'll design it. We'll design it to have no supports so that we can print it like this. Because 3D printers build up their layers, right? And the prints are weakest along their layers. So if they were to be hit like this, they would snap easier than if they were like this. Same thing like with grain. Grain does that on wood. So you gotta think about that. Alright, so I'm gonna go with golf tee. So I'm gonna make it simple. Very simple golf tee. I'm not even sure if these dimensions are correct, to be honest with you. But if you need to design the point, you want the bottom to be flat, like so. And you want your point to come down this way. For me, we'll design just quickly. For me, I'm gonna quickly sketch up a little thing that will be where it divots, and then we'll make it point down to like there, approximately. But see, with that, you will need no supports if it's printed like this so far, because this is flat, and it still would do its job. You probably also would want a point here and here, which is fine because it's not gonna make an overhang if you make a point here. Alright, so for this, I'm gonna make it a hole, and straight up just a hole, because that's the easiest way to design it and honestly make it. So I'm still, guessing. We'll go with 10. That looks good. But before you finish this, make another circle out a bit. I'm gonna go with probably 15. How does 15 look? No, 17. Yes, 17. That's what I'll go with. Click a little up here, and then go to around the center. This does not have to be perfect at all. But what that will do is, this is probably unneeded for what a golf tee, but showing you, if you're making a through hole for a bolt or something, and you don't want to support it, that will help. It doesn't have to be that big. Basically, when you're printing, your layers at the top of a circle will like to droop down. Basically what this does is compensate for that. It's more useful for a bolt hole if you have a bolt that needs to go through and you don't want to support it, and etc. So that would be very useful for that, so that you don't have to use supports and stuff. Just a little hint for you. Also, if you can avoid it, though you might want to do it to chamfer your edges or something, these edges like will cause issues, because as it prints, this is like right on the edge. It's actually even worse if you try to do a fillet. Fillets are even worse for that. Do not ever design in extra holes into the print, because it will actually make it take more material and more time. Infill is quick, easy, everything. Do not put holes in it, because then it has to make walls and etc. So just do not do that. Simply just don't do it. It's more work for you, and it actually hurts your print time and quality and material usage. Do not ever design tall, skinny objects such as this cylinder right here. These will fall off the build plate while they're printing. These do not like to print well. No matter what you do, brims and stuff will not keep them on the print bed. So get that out of here. Just you know. Also, if you can avoid it, do not design prints that are supposed to be printed like this with a bunch of jumps and stuff. This makes life hard. It's even worse if you were to orient it in the other direction like this, because when it prints, you have all these overhangs to print. So do not design stuff like that if you want it to work. Alright, let's say you're designing a cube similar to this. There's an issue here that you probably don't know. This cube needs to move in and out. And 3D printing is not perfect, so you have to add a bit of a gap in between them to allow it. I just add about 0.2, 0.3, depends how smooth you want it to be. If you want it tight, go to 0.1. If you want it really loose, 0.3 is pretty good. It also depends on machines and stuff. I just go around for about 0.2, and that works very well for me. So there, it's a very small gap. You can see it right there. So now, when I extrude both of them, they will not connect together, but you can see there's a gap in there, and those pieces will move freely and allow you nice print results for your piece that you want sliding in and out of other ones. Taking all these into consideration, you can't always do every single one of them, but if you design these into every part you make, and anybody who's 3D printing it, if it's you, they will be extremely happy with you for that, because we personally do not like removing supports and stuff like that. They're sometimes annoying. Well, that's all I have. I know it's not a very long list. It's a short video. Didn't have much planned today, but if you have anything I should add, maybe I'll make another video on stuff. Put it in the comments. Just tell me what you mean by it. Maybe hop in my Discord and tell me a little bit more.